All right, hello everybody. Grady Polson here, Family First Life America. Got my main man, #1 platinum producer, Julius Gilger here in the house as well. He'll be sharing some things. Today we're going to talk about new agents, getting them started, getting them going, getting them rocking and rolling, and what to do, what new agents can do in order to get them navigate the confusing initial waters that is life insurance sales and getting themselves to a point of profitability. One cool thing I would say is we have already, let me find this real quick. We just ended the month of June, which is great. Wow, we ended the month of June. We ended it quite strong. I want to just touch on this for a second, show some love for 1 second. Let me get this here. And love on these people right here. We had our month of June just ended. It's July 1st, so hello everybody who's here live. Hello everybody watching the replay, but June just ended. We had 2 brand new people hit sales manager, Jordan Lowry and Julius Gilger as well. Interesting correlation to the growth of your team and the amount of insurance you sell. So great job, Julius, by just doing what you're supposed to do. Go out and protect some families, make some money for your family, and grow a team. But we ended this month, June 2019. This was our best 4-week month ever with $300,721 issue paid. That's not submit, that's not thought about selling, that's not hoped it would get issued. It's not a $2 million term policy on someone who makes $700 in Social Security who told you they need $2 million and you put it in. Funny there. This is real issue paid business. Clients paid their first payment, and this amount of money was deposited into our agency's bank accounts this past month. So great job to everyone out there. Nikki was a bronze producer. Bronze is $10,000 to $14,999. So Nikki, Ashley Gronberg, Oscar Solis, and Jordan Lau are all bronze producers, above $10,000, below $15,000. Gabriel Hill, Alexander Strait all hit silver producer level. Great job to you guys. That's above 15,000, didn't hit 20,000. I know Alex was really close. Maybe next month, buddy. Let's keep pushing. Renell, myself, and Jam all hit over $20,000 of issue paid business. That's when you really start to turn your financial situation around. That's when you really start to put money into your family's bank account that wasn't there before, and you stop making decisions based on money. And you start making decisions based on time. It's an incredible place to be. So great job, Renell. Great job, Jam. And then also to top it all off, Julius right here hit 30,339, something like that, issue paid volume on his own pen in 4 weeks, 28 days, going out there into the marketplace, buying leads, calling the leads, working the leads, door knocking leads, and put money in him and his daughter's bank account so he can provide a great life for himself and for his family. So great job, Julius, leading by example. Great job to all of you out there. Set a goal to get on this list. Set a goal to hit 10,000. Set a goal to hit 15,000. Set a goal to get whatever it is the goal you want, because the life you want is just on the other side of that phone. That's a pretty, it's a pretty cool, thoughtful, thought-provoking statement. The life you want is on the other side of your phone. That's it. The top producers just dial more than you. The top producers text their leads more than you. Their top producers buy leads more than you do. That's it. There's no real secret magic thought, something that's secretive that people are hiding. It's just an action process here. So what we're going to do today, focus on some new agents. A lot of new agents out there. Maybe a lot of you have hired some agents, introduced them to the Family First Life opportunity, and you're kind of deciding on what to, you're trying to figure out what it is that you want to do or how to best coach them on what they should be doing, right? And so that's what we're going to focus on here for a second. Do you have some notes for me? Or?
I do.
Okay, so we've got some stuff printed out. We might even drop it in Slack when we're after. Awesome, good job, dude. So, step one for a brand new person, and I'll tell you that some of the best agents that we have on our team did not have a life insurance license prior to coming here. They did not have a life insurance license. They were ambitious in some other avenue. They were driven in some other area. they were successful in some other model, and then they came here and they saw what we have in life insurance sales, and they said to themselves, hey, I think I can do that. Myself, I own a software company, not a coder, cannot code, but I can talk. So I decided, hey, if I can talk about software, and then maybe I can talk about life insurance. And it's interesting how those things work. Look for people like yourself who, if you're succeeding, if you're not succeeding here, well, don't look for people like yourself. That's interesting. If you're writing $2,000 a month, well, don't look for people like you. Look for people who are, you know, a little bit different than you, a little more outgoing, and then maybe we'll get you there. So that's a big thing that I would say is that the brand new agents who are having a lot of success, a lot of them did not have life insurance licenses when they started here. So exam effects, that's step one, right? We want to make sure new agents get their license going. It's a free service from us. I always tell agents, listen, I'll sponsor you into class if you get serious and book your test. I will sponsor you into class. I'll cover, it's a $150 course that we'll cover as long as you get your test booked. And you know what they go do? They get online, they figure it out, they book their test, and then now they've got an end date. That's the biggest thing with a lot of new agents is they don't put an end date on that test. I got people that are studying it like it's a thesis for college, and they're trying to like learn the ins and outs of all this life insurance stuff. And that's important, except it's, you know, I'm gonna give you a tip, a secret, an insight. There's nothing on that life insurance exam that you will ever use to make money. So just look at it as a big test that you're trying to pass in school, and as soon as you pass that test, now you're in the club. And that's where you want to be. You want to get in this club, you want to pass that test, and then boom, now we're rolling. Now, some things for people to do while they are in class is one, make sure they're in the Facebook group. Two, get them plugged into a lot of the training calls, because you know, not too much. They shouldn't be doing crazy amount of training because they need to pass the test first. But a lot of our calls, like the agency call this morning where you heard Brittany talking about how she wrote $44,000 this month. I mean, talk about someone who's coming from a W-2 job, who's making $6,000 a month, doing something they really don't want to do, and they listen to a call where a young girl talks about how she just bought a bunch of leads and went out and sold and made $40,000 in a month. That would highly inspire someone to move fast and go pass their test. So those calls are excellent. You know, they shouldn't be, they need to pass the test, but I mean, for all of us, I mean, the greatest part of my continual growth and a lot of the top producers' continual growth is the constant flushing and washing of junk out of your mind and the refueling and filling up of positivity. And how can you get that on a consistent basis? With all the different calls we have, the agency call, the True Talk podcast we have, the product training podcast, the AMS Live, which is one of the best shows on the internet, as well as the Next Level Live call that happens every Friday. So there's a lot of calls, a lot of positive stuff that you can be putting into your mind and flushing out the doubt, flushing out the confusion, flushing out the negative thoughts. Trey said a good line this morning. He was talking about how, well what would work for me? What about me? You know, I know all these other people, they listen to the calls and they go to training events, but what about me? Like, and he's like, how arrogant are you to think that for you it's different, but all these other people that are writing $20,000 and $30,000 and $40,000, that it should be different for you. And so that's what I really want to get you guys to understand, that the secrets to this business are very simple. Well, are this: leads, dials, basically repeat. That's it, leads and dials. Because if you do that, you're going to get appointments. And if you get appointments, you're going to make money. That's the business right there. And so, but the mental strength and dexterity that you must acquire to push through when you buy a batch of leads and you don't book any appointments, when you make 200 dials and you only book 3 appointments, to go repeat it and do it again. That mental strength you've got to develop from an outside factor, because who you are today will not get you to where you want to be. Who you are today will not get you where you want to be. So you must learn new things and acquire new skills. And those collection of new ideas, thoughts, and skills will get you to where you want to be, because who you are today won't get you there. So that's just some deeper stuff here, but that's important stuff. Why we want to get new agents who are in class, plugged into the calls, plugged into the group, essentially going through FFLAmerica and knocking out all those 8 steps. FFLAmerica.com is our team's resource site. I'm working with Alexander, Strait, and Julius on developing some even deeper, more thought out onboarding initial training, so look for that. But then from there, get new agents to submit contracting, and then booking appointments. Contracting is a very simple thing. I'm sorry about that. Let me mute my Slack. So contracting, once you get through contracting, you have an issue with contracting, reach out to myself, your manager, someone you're working with will get that pushed through. The main thing is once you submit your contracting, check it every day till it says carrier. If it says anything but carrier, then it's not done. If it says carrier, then call the companies, call the carriers in 3 to 5 business days, okay? Where the phone numbers to all the carriers we're getting you contracted with? On FFLAmerica.com. So some real simple stuff, guys. Any questions on any of that? Any curiosities on any of that? Anything I went too fast on? Feel free to ask questions now. The question that doesn't get asked doesn't help you. But if there are no questions, then I'll happily keep rolling. Then the next step for new agents, getting new agents started. And then let me tell you that's what I'm gonna cover right now. But Julius is actually gonna jump on for some of you guys that are writing, and a lot of you who are watching the replay, and he's gonna cover how to overcome the, hey, I want a future draft date challenge that we often see. Julius has become very good at getting his business issued immediately. He paid $10,000 in the last week of June himself on his own fingers. With his own fingers. If you guys are having fun, you're doing it wrong. We're having a lot of fun in this business. So Julius had a great last week of June, but because he gets clients to pay immediately. And that's a benefit to them. It's a benefit to you. It's a benefit to them because their insurance is in place. And if they get buy a car the next day, their now family is going to be in a better situation for the coverage you made sure you got in place. Because this is a kicker. And life insurance does not go in effect until the client makes their first payment. Oftentimes we think that like the conditional receipt, right? No, they're covered immediately. No, conditional receipt states the insurance will go in effect when the client makes their first payment. That's what it says. It's a conditional receipt based on the condition of you paying. You get approved and you pay, now it's in effect. So Julie's gonna touch on that. So look for that coming up here in a few minutes. So what we wanna talk to new agents about, right? You've got your batch of leads, you've got your major dials, you got 5 appointments tomorrow. What do you need to have in order to have a successful day tomorrow? What do you need to make sure you have? There's a lot of new agents out there who don't know this stuff. And so that's what we want to go over today for you and talk about the things that you need to have as a new agent. And a lot of these you'll find linked from, thank you. You'll find these linked on FFLAmerica/downloads. And under downloads, you're going to find these 2 initial things I'm going to talk about. One is the credibility sheet and financial inventory. So credibility sheet is the sheet that Julius is grabbing right now. It's got all the pictures of all the carriers on it. And thank you, Ms. G. Okay. Oh yeah, the new one. Oh, these are laminated, bro. Oh, okay. All right. So credibility sheet and financial inventory. I need that. So we need to add that to the thing. Just missed it.
I called it a client profile sheet instead of financial. It's not just financial.
Oh.
It's client suitability.
Cool.
We got to figure out what they're suitable for.
Credibility sheet and financial inventory. So this is what it's called on FFLAmerica.com under downloads. These 2 sheets are stuck as a file. You want to print these out. I leave this with every client. You can laminate it if you like as well, but I print it because then I write notes like what they bought here on the top. I circle the company they purchased with. Just try to leave them something extra. And then this you take with you. This is the financial inventory that you fill out with the client. So if you've got, these are 2 initial things you want to make sure you have when you're going on your appointments. Why? To assert credibility. You lay this down in front of a client, you're no longer Bob off the street. You are now Robert, who represents many different carriers as an insurance broker, not just someone who's schlepping, the one thing you have, right? I don't wear an Americo shirt in the home because I often lead with Americo and they go, is that your company? And I'm like, no, I mean, they're just great, but they give me a free shirt. So I don't wear the Americo shirt in the home. I just wear plain shirts in the home. But today for you, I wore the Americo shirt. So financial inventory, this is crucial for you guys having success. Why? Because when you fill it out and you call a manager, someone you're working with, then we can guide you. If you have how much income they make and you know any medications, these are the 3 medication questions. Hey, what are you taking right now? Any medications you're taking? Anything you've been prescribed but chosen not to take? And then they tell you, oh, well, I was taking high blood pressure. Okay, well, when was the last time you took it? Oh, last time it was filled was 2012. Oh, last time it was filled was a month ago, but I don't take it anymore. Doctor took me off it. Well, that's a factor now because it was last month. It's as the insurance companies see it as though they have high blood pressure. Now, there's not a lot of situations where high blood pressure is going to be a knockout for anything, but it will be in conjunction to other medicines and other things. Now, if they got high blood pressure and depression and they smoke, well, now we're talking about a unique situation where now term may be a challenge. So just some stuff, but the key is making sure you get all the medications and then surgeries, right? You had any surgeries recently? Oh, I had a gastric bypass surgery last month. Oh, okay, so that's a serious invasive surgery that's far different than, hey, I got my knee replaced, right? But on top of that, when you do the financial inventory and you're writing everything down, it shows you care. It shows you're a professional. It shows that you're gathering all this information so that then you can deduce what's the best decision to make for their situation. Because you have all this information. It's not, hey, you know, it's Bob, makes $3 grand. Okay, America's the best, right? You just jump past it. When you write stuff down, it shows you care. It shows that you're professional. So financial inventory, lead card. Yeah, then there, thank you. Client, this is the client profile. This is the client profile sheet. You'll also see this on FFLAmerica. When I'm closing, you can see it here. It's on FFLAmerica. When I close, I have this, I pull it out. This sheet is what I use that, it's having a conversation over here. We're having tacos later, I guess. So the client profile sheet is something that I use to close, to help close. So I'm showing them 3 options, right? I'm showing them 3 options, right? 1, 2, and 3. And then they pick the middle one, right? Well, I pull out the sheet at that point. I pull out the sheet and I start filling it out. And I say, okay, I pull out the sheet and I've got their name and I say, okay, Julius, can you grab me your driver's license? I need, who do you bank with? Chase? Okay, do you have a voided check? And then can you give me like a glass of water? I've just been talking so much. I don't want that white stuff to start forming in my mouth like my grandpa. And I still say that to this day like I used to say like a year ago, and they still laugh every time. Why? Because you're bringing levity to a serious situation, and it shows you're human. And people want to work with humans. They don't want to work with robots. So don't say some weird thing like about your grandpa and white stuff on your mouth if that doesn't make you comfortable, but say something, and then, but while you pull out the credibility sheet, what's happening there? Now, when you ask them for their social, because you get some people, like even as much rapport and credibility as you built in an appointment, they'll go, well, I'd have to give you my social. I thought we're just applying. Well, listen, Dolores, this is how they check your background. This is how they make sure you are who you say you are. No one's trying to get insurance in your name. And there's some magic to like having a sheet that all of a sudden you're filling it out on a sheet. It's like, oh, this is an official form. It's not just you, some guy who knocked on my door 37 minutes ago asking me my personal information. So there's the power in that client profile sheet. So I fill that out completely. Also, it helps with my inner office organization. Because then at a glance, when you got 100 client files on your desk, you at a glance can see what did I protect this client with, or they call you and they need clarification and whatnot. So what do we got? We've got the credibility sheet. We've got the financial inventory. Those are both linked together on FFLAmerica.com/downloads. Make sure you're using this and make sure you're filling it out completely. I can't tell you how many times experienced agents will still call me and they'll tell me about, well, this client's got diabetes. Okay, what are the medications they're taking? Well, I didn't ask them yet. Why are you calling me? Like, I can't help you yet. Now you look stupid because you're calling and I'm trying to be like strong but serious but funny but honest. Like you gotta be a professional. Ask them a bunch of questions. They're gonna appreciate that. As long as you're not keeping them PG questions, they're gonna be fine answering your questions. But it's asking in detail. And then when you have all the detail, so there's a concept called executive communication, okay? I learned this from a mentor. And it says when you write something, you wanna create such detailed direction that you're already thinking through, right? Any question that the person reading it at the end could have. So when I write an email to corporate or Andrew or anyone important, I'm writing out it in detail, right? People would prefer, if it's something important, it's more details the better. So if I'm writing it out, I have every potential question that they could have answered in the text I'm writing. If I'm giving directions to Jade, or if I'm instructing my team on something to do or something we're trying to create, the more details I have, the less return interaction I'm going to have with them because they have all their questions answered. So think about that from your level. The more information you gather on a financial inventory, when you call your manager for help and say, hey, I'm in a home and I'm sitting with Jim, and Jim used to work on the railroad. He's retired now 7 years. He makes $1,123 from Social Security, $973 from his railroad pension. He's got $600 in annuity he's earning. He's currently taking high blood pressure, 100 milligrams. He's taking hydrochlorothiazide. He's got a atorvastatin for cholesterol, and he had his knee replaced 7 years ago. What do you think is the best coverage for him? What is it? He's 65. Americo Eagle. Right, Americo Eagle. Americo Eagle. Why? Because now I know all the information. I can answer your questions. And that's the thing where it's like, if you guys just do that for yourself, why? Because then you'll have asked them all this information, which then allows you to get the best answer. And you know what the best answer gets you? The best coverage, and it gets clients approved, and guess what else it gets? You paid. Win, win, win. The client's covered, you're paid, life's great because you ask good questions. The quality of your life will be determined by the quality of your questions you ask. So, credibility, cheap. Financial inventory, client profile, lead card, obviously, and then you need you obviously need this. An iPad or a tablet. I'm not telling you go to Apple right now and buy yourself a $1,000 iPad. I'm saying go on Craigslist and buy one for $200 that's 5 years old, because that will work just fine. Or if you've got a Samsung tablet or whatever, the power of an iPad is the client can sign on the screen. And that's huge, because the other way the client signs when we're in the home is email signature. And I can't tell you how many clients don't have an email, don't remember their email, don't remember their email login. They remember all that stuff, but they still can't log in. Your email never got there, or the power goes out, right? It's the worst of all situations. So if you have a tablet signature, they only have to sign on the screen. Yeah, so control what you can control. So iPad, so that you can sell the insurance, and then you've already spent a few minutes making sure you can log into different carriers, logging into Americo, logging into Mutual of Omaha, being able to log into AIG, and then you have a few Transamerica applications printed out. Contact Transamerica, their phone number is where? FFLAmerica.com, and tell them, hi, this is Jim, I live in Idaho. Could you please email me the Transamerica paper app for Family First Life? I believe the company is called Transamerica Premier Life Insurance Company. It's something you might see, and I don't get too advanced here. A lot of these companies have different companies underneath themselves, but it's all the same company. Like Mutual of Omaha has United of Omaha, which sometimes you'll see, but it's the same company. So Transamerica has Transamerica and Transamerica Premier, and it's the same company, but there's different applications. So you just want to make sure you get the Transamerica Premier Life Insurance Company whole life application. I believe the term is called immediate solutions, okay? So what's that?
Their specific
and your specific state. It is not a generic all-state app. It's specific state by state. Last is linked to the quote tools. So you can find those on a few different places. One, they're linked from FFLAmerica. They're also linked on FFL Mentor. They're also on FFL Go. And after a while, you'll just have them bookmarked on your browser, on your iPad. And so there you go. New agent. Got some leads, made some dials, booked some appointments. Now you're cruising. Now the thing is like, one thing that we don't talk about is like running muscle. Like, do you remember when you first started and it's like, hey, I'm going to book like 7 appointments. That sounds great. By the time your 4th appointment, you're like, I'm tired. Yeah. And then it's like your 5th appointment, then your 6th, and then now, but that was when you started. And now you're like, let's go. Where's that next one? I'm like driving as fast. I'm not that fast. I drive much slower than I used to as a young man. I got kids, and I don't want my insurance to pay out. But like your running muscle, and that's one thing that we don't discuss enough. We should copyright that term, running muscle. I like that. But you got to develop your running muscle, which is, hey, I booked 2 appointments tomorrow. Get ready for some pain, because one's probably not going to be there, and you're probably not going to sell the other. But then you book 5 or 6 or 7, and now you've got a day stacked up where you're going to set yourself up to win. And so as your new agents out there, you want to make sure you understand, like, it takes time to build up like stamina. Like when I first started, like my business I did before this, I sat at home. I probably wouldn't leave my home for sometimes a week. Like weird, right? Because my whole business was from home. Like I would go to the park with my kids, or like we'd go to the grocery store or stuff, or we'd order food, but like I wouldn't have to leave. And like my kids were little, so like we didn't have, they didn't go to school yet. And so now I'm like gone like 6 days a week. Income's increased a little bit, so that's worth it. But what I would tell you though, is that to be prepared for that. Like this is gonna change you. It's gonna change you for the better. And you gotta be ready for the better. And a lot of people, they look at the better and they go, I want that, I want that, I want that. But they won't book 7 appointments in a day. They won't book 7 appointments 2 days in a row, and they won't dial the 3rd day after that and run the business and try to put themselves in a position. But I'll tell you, every person who we showed on that list who's silver, gold, platinum, and above has a strong running muscle. They're out there, they're working their business, they're buying leads, they're getting themselves better. And that's where I'd advise all of you is to put yourself in a position where you find the ability and the environment to push yourself to get better. Why? I'm not get all deep. We got one shot on this deal, guys. Why not make it the best life you could possibly make it? Like, why not do it? And like, for a lot of you new agents, and I hope this goes out, and a lot of you guys who are on here, let's get this shared out, because this is a good kind of breakdown for brand new agents to watch. And then Julius will come in as a way to kind of hammer down for a new agent who's like, oh, so it's July 1st. Oh, you want to, September 30th? That's the first time you want to pay? Grady, can we put it for September 30th? No, we can't. They said they want to wait till September 30th. Okay, what happens if they die tomorrow? Right? And that's, we talk about death a lot, and it's part of life. It's the worst part of life, I would probably say. Sure. Right? That and taxes are pretty, no, death is way worse. But we put things in place for people that make death less bad. And you got to think about it like, the worst thing in the world is losing a provider, a loved one, a lover, a child, someone who's important to you. But the even worse thing is the repercussions that come that now that person who was your partner in life and providing an equal income or equal support is now gone. And you're left here with a bunch of holes trying to figure it out. When we can fill those holes, even for a little bit with some money, it's a powerful thing we do, guys. So be proud of the work you do. Be proud of the products we sell. Be proud of the clients that we take care of. And, I just love this business. So I appreciate all you. Glad you guys are coming on. But I'm going to introduce Julius. He's going to come up now. And he's going to talk about how to keep, I'll let him talk about it. He's going to talk about how to keep more business on the business, how to get business to pay faster. And just brand new sales manager.
Yes.
And platinum producer, Julius Fielder. Good to have you, bro.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Welcome to our Monday, July 1st webinar. For all you guys on, appreciate you guys for joining us today. So I want to talk about a few things. First off, shout out to everybody that achieved a new level, achieved some sort of milestone in their business for the month of June. I want to talk a little bit about today what I found in our team, one of the opportunities that we have. And one of the things that new producers typically have a challenge with is getting business issue paid quickly, okay? If you guys have that challenge and you want to know how to get over that, show some love on there. Tell me I do something, respond something if this would be helpful for you. But I want to see how many people this could actually impact. But I know for myself, when I first started here, one of the things that I did that I had some challenges with was getting business issued very quickly. And here's why. One of the things that I realized was when I started looking through applications and working with clients is we have, according to the applications, up to 30 days to postpone a payment, right? So you got 30 days to future date of payment. And so what did I do? Sitting with a client, I'm giving them the options. I asked the $1 million question. Look, I don't know if we can get you approved, but if we could get you approved, which of these is most comfortable for you? And they always pick one, right? They always pick one regardless of the situation or you working through it. But let's just say they pick one, right? So then from there, I'd say, okay, go ahead and grab a voided check and your ID, and we'll see if we can get you approved. Obviously, I'm just kind of giving you guys the short version here. But now they go ahead and let's say they get you the check and they get you the ID. So what's next? We start filling out the application, right? So I go fill out the application. And here's what I would say to clients. I'd say, okay, Bob, Mary, We have up to 30 days for your first premium to start. When would you like that to begin? Well, now they're thinking, right? Now they're like, well, I don't know, right? 9 out of 10 times, they're 3 to 4 weeks out. Almost every time, they're like, I can't start it now. I got this bill to pay, and my car's broken, and I got Christmas, and whatever excuse they're going to give you. They're going to give you excuses because to them, this isn't a priority. They have their money spent elsewhere. Does that make sense? So I remember having this challenge when I first started, and Grady's like, dude, why do you have like 50%, if not more, of your business forward future dated? And I'm like, well, that's when they want to do it. He's like, what do you mean that's when they want to do it? That's not how this works. I'm like, oh, okay. So I had to learn that lesson, as many of you may have or may learn today. And so there's a few things. Number one, I've been in sales for a bit of time now, and one of the things that I remember learning kind of in the beginning phases of sales is if you put emphasis on something, you make something a big deal, guess what the client's going to do? The client's going to do the same thing, right? So if you put a lot of energy into something, if you put a lot of weight on it, well, guess what? They're gonna take that weight on, right? Right? So you guys probably experience that in different parts of life, not even just business, but just in general. Like if you make anything like it's no big deal, like this is just the way it is, then most people are like, oh, okay, and they'll just kind of go along with it, right? Like I put myself, actually, there was an event that I went to this weekend, and everyone's just kind of walking the line, they're getting in line, and they're just kind of following suit. And I'm the guy that's going around and like figuring a way out to just kind of circumvent everything, because I'm like, well, if no one's making a big deal out of it, well, why am I going to make a big deal out of it? So I just went to the front and kind of made my way in, and it was no big deal, right? And it worked, right? So I'm just trying to have some correlation here. But the point of what I'm trying to get to is this, guys. It's all about how you position yourself. It's all about the posture you have when you're in the home. It's all about what you're also saying. So it's not only what you say, but it's how you say it. And so there's a few things. Number one, here's what I do. I don't give them an option. I'm not asking them anymore, when do they want to start? I'm now telling them, okay? And the way I say that is this. So I'll collect the check, I'll collect the ID, right? And I start the application. I'm going through it, no big deal. Hey, what's your social, blah, 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 right? We're filling it out, we filled out the sheet, we're doing the whole nine. Now, as we're getting to the payment information, this is what I say. This is my transition. The way this works. Why? Because this is the way it works. These are how the insurance companies do it. So the transition is key. So Bob and Mary, the way this works is, if you get approved, because right, we have to still keep the takeaway, we're going through the process. We don't know if they're going to get approved or not. So the way this works, Bob and Mary, is if you are approved, upon approval, the company is going to now take your first premium within the first 24 to 48 hours, because they want to make sure that you're protected, God forbid something happens, and just as you do, right? And so as soon as I get a notification, Bob and Mary, that you're approved, you're going to be getting a phone call from me, and just know that your policy will start shortly after that. And then from there, Bob and Mary, your policy is going to come in the mail in the next 7 to 10 days. But I'll review that with you if you get approved. I just want you to kind of note that. And then I just get back to it. That's it. That's it. That's all I do every single time, right? Because now what I did is I've taken the option off the table. They don't know that there's an option to postpone it. And then the only time I'm going to future date something is if a person says to me, oh, I don't have that money in my account. And 9 out of 10 times you're going to know that by looking around your environment and looking at the home the person lives in. I'm not trying to judge, but I look at the facts, right? And the facts are the facts, and numbers don't lie. And if a person has the money, their house will probably show. If a person doesn't have the money, their house will probably show. And that's not to be derogatory, it's just the reality, right? And so if someone tells me that and I look around, they have a big house, they probably have the money to pay their first premium, right? But if if you're in a final expense appointment, they're living in an apartment, their social security is $1,000, you already know that going into it. So I'd rather be proactive and try to hit it on the head and just tell them the way it works. And then if they say they can't do it, now we work with them to figure out when they can do it, right? And so it's just a slight tweak, guys. That slight little tweak will get you business paid within the first few days. So like Grady mentioned to me, or like Grady mentioned here a little bit ago, this last week I issued paid just about 10 grand. And I knew I was on a mission because I knew we were about 15K short from hitting our goal of sales manager. And I knew everything that we were putting into place needed to be issued right away. Otherwise we're not going to hit our goals, not only for our team, but for myself, my own personal goals. And so for me, it was just a matter of how do I do this and what do I need to do? And so this is it, guys. This is the magic. Number one, there's no option, right? They don't need to know about an option, right? Because if you tell them, well, now they're going to take you up on it. It's just, that's how it works. And if you don't tell them, then they're going to go with the flow. They're going to go in line like the people at the event this weekend were going in line, because that's all they know. Okay, let's follow the herd, right? Let's just get in line and do what everyone else does. And so that's the simple. So the transition is, as you have the information, you're filling out the application. Hey, Bob and Mary. So the way this works is, if you are approved, the insurance company will draft your first premium within 24 to 48 hours of your approval. Keep in mind, as soon as you are approved, I get a notification. I will be calling you. So I will let you know if you're approved. And Bob and Mary, for any reason, if you're not approved, because we are a broker, one of the benefits of working with us is we can always set up a time to come back and find you a company that you could get approved with. And that's it, right? And so you're keeping the same posture, right? You're still in control. You've now continued to that control throughout the entire process without giving them control. Because if you ask that question to them, they're going to control that situation on when that's going to come in, when that bill is going to be paid. And then that's going to prolong your business. That's going to, potentially reduce your persistency and all the other factors. And so that's just a quick little tip. For those people that are on my team, I hope that helps. I know some of you guys are kind of working through that and figuring out how to do that. And whether you're on my team or not, I hope that, you find some value in that and that can help you issue pay business. But guys, that's just a small little tweak that has helped me make a difference in my business. A, getting paid faster, B, helping our clients be protected, and everything else that goes along with that. I want to also touch a little bit on what Grady mentioned, which was your running muscle, okay? So I've been in this business for less than 9 months, okay? Some of you know me from prior organizations. Some of you, this is the first time we're working together. But I came from an organization where most of the business was done in our office, right? Every now and then I'd say 25 to 30% of it, we were actually going to client homes, okay? But a lot of the business was in the office. So having a running muscle didn't make sense. One, I don't like to run, clearly. But two, actually going out there and being on the road and meeting with multiple families, it could be challenging. It could be strenuous. It could be frustrating. Like, all these different emotions come into it, especially because most of the time we're alone, guys, when we're out in the field. And I know being alone shouldn't be scary because you have a team. The other thing I would tell you is, as you're running and when you're running, one of the things that really made a difference for me was having someone I can call. I called Grady. I would call Gabe from time to time. I'd call others that I met at the annual seminar, right? And so make sure you have people you can just talk to and run with, and people that'll help you, because at the end of the day, you're going to get no-showed, you're going to get reschedules, you're going to get no sales, and you want to do well, and you want to help families, and you want to make money, and that's what we're all striving for, right? But at the end of the day, when you don't have that tenacity, when you don't have that perseverance yet, when you don't have that, when your emotion is still really baked into it, which really is in the beginning stages of this business until you really figure it out and you start to get this thing moving like a machine, that's where the most challenge happens. That's where you're going to be stretched, you're going to be pulled, you're going to be pushed. to find a new layer of yourself. And so that only recently happened for me over the last 60 or so days. And I've been in this business for 9 months, right? And so I want to give you guys some vision, because would some of you guys like to issue pay 30 grand this next month? Woo! I'm sure you would, because that was me. I was always like, man, I need to get to 30K. How the heck do I do it, right? But there's no mystery, right? Grady just laid it out there for you guys. It's leads, you book the appointments, you go help clients in their home, right? But until you have that running muscle of having enough appointments per day, and I was talking to some of you guys earlier, but you want to make sure a full day, if you guys are full-time, a full day is really not having any less than 7 appointments, okay? And so you have 2, 3, 4 appointments. Yeah, I mean, as you're starting, that's a good starting point. But when you have a no-show, you have a reschedule, you have a no sale, then you have another no-show, and you have 4 appointments, that's where the muscle is going to start to get strengthened, right? It's like when you do go to the gym and you actually start running, when you first start running, it hurts everywhere. Everything hurts, you're sore, you hate it, it's painful, and you're avoiding it in many instances. Like, oh man, I got to drag myself into the gym. After you're 30 days into it and you see some results, right? Your waistline's a little bit smaller, you're feeling a little bit better, your energy level is a little bit higher, it's not as hard to get into the gym anymore, and now you're able to run longer, able to run faster. Well, that's the same kind of mentality that you have to have here, or you will create if you stick in this business long enough. And so I'm just sharing that with you guys, because we're in the beginning, things may seem really difficult, and they will be. It's not going to be easy, guys. Right now, this business is simple, but it's not easy. There's still a lot of hard work that goes into it, and a lot of it is really just mental. A lot of it is mental, because almost all of us, if not all of us, have never really done this before. So we're learning from each other, and we're learning together, okay? And the good thing is while we're in business for ourselves, we're not by ourselves. We have a Grady that can help us. We have an Ashley, myself, and others on this webinar, in our Facebook group, and what have you. And so I'm telling you that because as you guys are challenging this business, reach out, okay? The more you reach out, the more we're willing to support. But we can't support someone that isn't willing to fight for themselves. And the way you fight for yourself in this business is ask questions, take the actions you need to, and reach out to the person that's ahead of you that you're trying to get to that level, because that's really what it's going to take. One of the things that I think that I really did well is I reached out to Grady like religiously, because I knew I wanted to get to at least 20K immediately, right? And then how do I get to the next level, and then to the next level? And so, it's a matter of picking his brain, right? It's a matter of not only picking his brain, but other producers' brains that are already there. And so I'm telling you that because that's what it takes. That's the type of effort it's going to take. That's the muscle it's going to take. It's more than just running and being in the field and doing those appointments, but it's also running and understanding what running is going to look like, what it's going to sound like, what it's going to feel like. But how do you make sure that you don't own it? Because the sooner you stop owning it, the sooner you can start helping more families. Take that away, guys. The sooner you can stop owning it, meaning the emotional, the mental fatigue, the actual fatigue, and all these other things that get in your head, that clouds your focus. And if you don't have focus, you don't have clarity. If you don't have clarity, you can't properly help a person and make sure that they really understand. Yeah, you may get lucky. Yeah, you may get some deals, but you won't get to the level where you want to get to. And as soon as you have that clarity and that focus, and you can just be really business oriented and focused on that person and be in the moment and present, that's where the magic starts to happen. And now you can just go to work and do your job, because there's going to come a point where this becomes second nature. It's no big deal. It's like any other job you've ever had. It's like any other activity you've always done. It just becomes your habit. Once you create that habit, now you can walk and chew gum at the same time. Now you can start running and chewing gum at the same time, right? Like I know some of my analogies are pretty bad, guys, but I hope you guys get the point, right? It's all going to come together. It's a matter of time. You got to put in the work. You got to go through some of the tough times to get to the greater times. And guys, this whole business for me over these last 60 days is really unfolding. I'm super thankful. I'm super grateful for the business that we're in, being in business with you guys, Grady being in business with you and with Ashley here, and just really creating a really strong team and agency where right now, guys, we're talking about some stuff that's really going to take our business and 10x it in a very, very short period of time, because our goal is to not only make our agents better, but to make your agents that aren't here better. And when I say better, it's getting them in the business faster, getting them through contracting quicker, making their first deal faster, and helping more families. And if we're able to do that and help people get through that process, then we're all going to be in a very good financial situation here shortly. So proud to be in business with you guys. Hope you guys got something out of that. Pleasure talking with you today, Monday, July 1st. Crush your July goals, guys. Our team's going for 75K. We just hit 50. There's no reason why we can't do 75 VP by the end of the year, guys. So talk to you soon.
VP by the end of the year.
At the latest. We're going to go sooner.
You might go into
November.
The only reason you won't hit VP by like September is if you fall into a coma.
September?
Bro, it's only doubling.
Tripling.
Kinda.
150
Kinda.
and 50. There's
Leonard's got some stuff up his stuff. I want to teach you guys a concept real quick called people you should have in your business life. Okay, how good was this though? No option, the way this works. Go back and rewatch this. I'll have the recording posted today-ish, within 24 hours. Julia's killed it. Thank you so much for that. And that's why you should pay $10,000 a week, and all the clients are happy because now the families are protected. So I want to teach you a quick concept, and this is something for all of you, again, for you newer people who are here, and for me people, any people who are trying to become better people. This is a concept called the 3 people you need to have in your business life, okay? First, I want to put this up here. This video will not be going viral.
What is this?
That's my cell phone. 928-301-3695. If I don't have your number, I should. If you plan on becoming a big producer or a big agency manager here, I should have your number. I'd like you to be on my radar. I'd like to be helping you. We should be talking once a week, just even checking in at some level. Shoot me a text with your full name, where you're located, what your goals are, and let me help you. Okay, let me help you. The closed mouths don't get fed, and so I want to teach you a quick concept called the 3 people in your business life. And Julius is the powerful words he shared just about this training, and I want you guys to think about this, what I'm about to share with you, but you should have 3 people in your business life, okay? Okay, so there's you, right? You should have a mentor. You should have we'll call it partner. And then you should have a mentee. And if you could, who are these people? You should write them out and figure out who these people are for you. Okay? There's you. These are people, the 3 people in your business life. Okay? The 3 people in your business life. Who are you learning from? Who are you learning with? And who are you teaching? Okay? Who are you learning from? Who is coaching you? Who do you have in your life that's observing your work, that's reflecting on what you're doing, that's challenging you when you're not doing what you should be doing, that's leading you by example as of what the best things to be doing? You could have multiple mentors. I have multiple mentors. But they're people who have the success, they have the life, they have the relationship, they have the business that I want. And I look to them as far as their ethical and moral standards, as high as they are, to reflect what they do in their business. And there's a lot of things that I'm constantly seeking counseling. I don't know anything, right? What I know has been an amalgamation of rabid effort, Cujo style, running at this business. For anyone who gets that reference, I applaud you. But who's your mentor? Who are you learning from on a consistent basis, or looking to or seeking new knowledge from, that's coaching you in your business? Second, who's your partner? Grind partner, running buddy, someone who's equal to you, that both have big goals. There's many partners, grind partners, running buddies that I've left in the past, left in the dust. They got tired. They lost their energy. They're still friends. we still chat. But as far as someone that I'm bouncing active ideas off of what I can do and what they're doing in their business and what they're doing in their production and what they're doing and how they're getting themselves to the next level, What's the next level? It's the level above the one you're at now, right? The next level doesn't need to be 50,000 a month of income. The next level can be, hey, I made 4,000 last month. This month I want to make 10, okay? Now I made 10,000 this month. This month I want to make 14, right? Leveling up, whatever. Leveling up is just becoming better than you were yesterday, okay? So who's your partner? Do you have a partner that you're bouncing ideas off of? That someone else, like I have multiple partners in other FFL teams that are buddies that I bounce ideas off of, that we counsel each other. I tell them what I'm doing. They call me for advice. I tell them, they tell them what they're doing, okay? So mentor, partner, a grind partner, running buddy, someone that you can counsel immediately, not someone you take mentor advice from. You're not going to pivot your business from what this person says, but you're going to talk to this person about what is their mentor teaching them? What have they learned from the person that's coaching them, right? That they can go, hey, you know, I was talking to so-and-so, and you're like, oh, I respect so-and-so. I wish I could get in their world. Well, now all of a sudden through your partner, you're in another mentor's world. You're learning now new information from someone who they now seek counseling from, okay? And then a mentee. And many of you may not be confident enough to have a mentee yet, but you know what a mentee is? It's someone you're mentoring, someone you are coaching, someone you are passing on the knowledge of which you're acquiring to. One of the greatest gratifying things in the world is seeing someone be in a situation and getting out of it from some ideas or help you've given them, from teaching. And I'll tell you, you know who benefits the most in the mentee-mentor relationship is you are the mentor in the situation is you. You learn far more by teaching than you do by anything else. Why? Because you're learning. Like I'm learning right now. I'm getting the most out of this training than anyone here. Because some of you right now are folding laundry, and some of you right now are surfing on Facebook, scrolling and liking. Some of you haven't taken a single note on all of the high-level stuff that Julius just delivered on, and you're just sitting here checking a box, going, hey, I was on that training, Grady. You shoot me a text later. That was great training. And I'll be like, glad you liked it. Go out and write some more business this week. Like I'm happy that you are all here. I'm happy you're watching the replay, but I'd be more happy for you when you can look your family in the eye next week and 2 and 3 weeks down the road, and they go, wow, dad went out and did it. I didn't see him a bunch, but now him and mom are super happy. Mom, she went out and did it, right? Someone went out and did it. You go out and do it, right? It's this stuff is fun, right? It's fun to get fired up and talk about working real hard, right? With my southern accent here. but it's fun. The hard stuff is the phone, right? The people who make the most money. So this is an important thing. Can you fill these boxes here? Can you fill these boxes? And if you can't fill these boxes, you should. Because these are important people in your business life. They will keep you on point, that you'll feel guilt by not growing because the person that you're coaching is looking to you for guidance and you're doing things that aren't becoming of the direction you want to take your business. You'll feel ownership with your partner to keep yourself going. Right? Did you get up at 5 this morning and go work out? No, you know, right? We learned this powerful concept from Dave Anderson. It said, when you're thinking about doing something that has a decision attached to it, say to yourself, how will I feel in an hour? How will I feel in an hour? So you're at dinner, big dinner, had the steak and the potato and the extra butter, and then they bring you on the cheesecake. You go have the cheesecake, or do you say to yourself, how will I feel in an hour? I'll probably feel like crap, right? So you don't eat the cheesecake. You wake up in the morning, it's 5, 6 in the morning, for some of you like to sleep in, and 6 goes off, and you're like supposed to go to the gym by 6:30, be done by 7:30, on the call by 8, and you're tired, and you're like, you know what? My back's sore, right? My back is sore all the time. I sleep in like 3 different beds a night. I got 3 sick kids. I'm either on the couch, not in trouble. I'm in my kid's bed. I'm in my bed. I got like musical beds, and I wake up and I'm like, oh, I'm sore, and you know what? My throat hurts a little bit. You know, I might have a headache, and you know, I'm talking myself out of going to the gym all the time. We all are, and I'm talking myself out of doing it. And then this freaking Dave Anderson word comes out. He goes, "How will I feel in an hour?" And I said it this morning to myself. How am I going to feel in an hour? I pushed myself to go, and I feel freaking great today because I went and did it, and it wasn't 8 o'clock, and I would tell myself, well, I'm going to go in the office and do some work for an hour and a half, and I'd still be this sort of lethargic slug sitting at my computer for an hour and a half when I went to the gym, and now I was home before 8, got my workout in, showered, ready, in the office, rocking and rolling. Why? Because I wanted to do the thing I said I was going to do for the partner who I bounce ideas off of, and I want to be able to tell them, yeah, I went and worked out this morning. And then your mentor. So find these people in your business life as you guys are growing, you new agents are growing. This is like the best business you will ever be a part of if you really want change and success in your life. There are many people that show up at our door and tell us the best words they can put together and how great they're going to do and how much they're going to do and how fantastic they're going to be and how they're going to change their family's life. And you know what they do? Nothing. They change nothing. They do nothing. They talk about everything and never take action. Don't be that person. Just do the simple stuff. Buy some leads. If you need help, there's a number right there to call. No excuse. Shoot me a text. Shoot me your full name. Let me reach out to you if you're watching this. And let me help you. Julius, Ashley, Gabriel, Jordan Lowry. Congratulations to my dude, Jordan Lowry, out of Texas currently. Just hit sales manager also this month with Julius. We've got 4 sales managers on the team. Ashley Gronberg, Gabriel Hill, Julius Gilger, and Jordan Lowry. This team is growing only by the sheer work ethic of those people. All we have here at FFL is a platform, and the people that choose to step on that platform and go to work are the ones winning. So appreciate you all. Proud of you all for being on here today. Clarence Lewis, your money, baby. Let's keep going. That's it. Make it a great week. Make it a great week. It's up to you. That's it. It's up to you. You can do it. That's the biggest thing. I'll close with that. You can do it. That's it. Success loves company. There's plenty of room at the top. Talk to you guys soon. Bye for now.